Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are going to take the Minnesota on a little runaround. And we're going to be able to properly demonstrate the dangers of trying to win harder. But which team will it be? Whose team it will try to win harder? Place your bets now. Pause the video, type it out in the comments, be like, I believe that Spartan's team's going to tater this one, or I believe the enemy team is going to tater that one. And if you're correct, congrats. If you cheated, bad. All the bad. But while we're waiting for this match to start, don't forget we are on the path to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And believe it or not, we're actually on target to do that. According to my numbers, I could be wrong, but according to my numbers, December 12th or thereabouts seems to be roughly where we're at if we can maintain our current trajectory. So, thank you guys so much. If you guys haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and be a part of something great. Punch that subscribe button so that you guys can show up every day and watch the content that I try to put out for you guys. It's a lot of fun. Like, I enjoy it. Hopefully you guys do too. Seem to be quite a few of you guys that enjoy it. Now, you'll watch. I am not moving right off the bat, and you're probably thinking, well, Spartan, why aren't you moving? Well, I've had a lot of games on this side of the map where I go out early and my teammates don't, and then the next thing I know, I gotta fight everybody by myself. So I figure I'd wait. And this is the one time that our destroyer ends up getting out ahead of us. So we let the destroyer do his thing, and we're going to try to put ourselves in a position where we can capitalize on any spotting that he may actually pull off. But we also don't want to put ourselves in any real danger early on. Minnesota is a good ship, but it does take a lot of damage every time something looks at it. So any damage that we can potentially avoid would be ideal. Speaking of Minnesota, hello. We're going to go ahead and take that shot on that Minnesota. Front guns, I think, hit the island here, unfortunately, but the rear guns do make it through. We managed to put ourselves behind the island so he can't shoot us. The cruiser, however, does get shot at here. And we get a nice little 9,000 damage chunk on that Minnesota. That Plymouth probably ought to go play the lottery. That man just got real lucky that he's still alive. Usually, if you're the first thing spotted in a British light cruiser, you're probably not going to survive much longer. Just saying. You do not want to be the first thing everybody sees, because they will shoot you. But he gets away with this time, and I'll be honest, guys, I end up playing this one very passively, which is something I don't do a lot of. A lot of people think Spartan is an idiot. Every time I see him play, he does the same thing. He YOLOs in, he dies, he complains about his teammates. That's all I ever see him do. But there's a reason for the way I usually play, being super aggressive. First of all, it's more fun. Second of all, it's more entertaining for you guys. It's easier to get really fun, entertaining videos if you're aggressive. Does it always work out? Absolutely not. Do I recommend everybody play the way I do? Absolutely not. However, this one's going to be a bit different. Rather than being super aggressive, we're actually going to continue to try to help our team. We've got USS Black here. We take the front guns. Unfortunately, we managed to just barely squeeze around past the island. No dice on that one. Richelieu and Minnesota are now looking at our broadside, and that's not ideal, as Minnesota's about to make us pay. Bonk. Yep. That's the beauty of it. You try to help a teammate by shooting at the destroyer, and what do you get for your trouble? You get blapped. And it was my own stupidity. I knew those guys were there, and I still did it. But it's okay, because this is going to be a good showcase of why, even though we get blapped, we can still be effective in this match. Now, we've got a Georgia out there. We've got the Minnesota out there. We're going to go ahead and try to take some shots at them. But by playing smart and not just letting us continue to get chunked because we've already lost half our hit points. By playing smart, we're going to be able to get, and that was a massive hit. 26,000 damage in that shot. Good God. That was nasty. I think it was 26,000. It was over 20,000. We'll just put it that way. It was over 20,000 damage done. I think it was 26 though. But that Minnesota just found out the hard way that, you know, this thing takes penetrations from everywhere. I know it's got a little bit better armor, but we talked about it. Same with the Kansas. Kansas does have good armor, especially up close, which is why if you can get into a situation where you're a little closer and people are shooting at your belt, then you're going to be able to have a lot of bounces and shatters and ricochets because it does have a decent belt. But the problem at any sort of range is all of the armor on the side of your ship is flat. And that allows for a lot of penetrations from pretty much anywhere. Any shell that hits your ship at any sort of range generally pins because of the flat armor. And so that's one of the downsides of the Minnesota. Now, that being said, you still have all of the guns, all of the firepower, and we are able to absolutely put that firepower to good use, as the Minnesota and the Georgia have figured out. So we're up to 64,000 damage already. The game is kind of right there in the middle. We've got 9.5 minutes to go. USS Black has pushed out and is getting chunked by our 2 destroyers. The 2 destroyers should easily be able to win that fight. We got a shot on the way for the Richelieu, and we're going to start trying to put ourselves in a position to support both sides of the map. I had a feeling that we were going to end up having to fight both sides here. As you can see, the enemy on the right side of the map have 2 destroyers, and there is only a single cruiser left over there to defend it. So, putting ourselves in a centralized position, preparing ourselves to inevitably end up fighting everybody, seemed like the best possible option here. And paying attention to the map and where people are located and where the threats are coming from should be a priority for everybody, especially battleship captains, because it can save your bacon. Now here, Richelieu actually gets a sneaky shot over the top of the island, which is not ideal, but we managed to turn in and avoid any damage out of that salvo. He underestimated the speed of the Minnesota, which sounds absurd when you say it like that. Let's be real. This is not exactly a speedy boat. It's just not. But Richelieu is going to come around the corner. He's being shot at by a cruiser and potentially a couple of destroyers. He's got a battleship back here taking shots, and then he goes full broadside to a goddamn Minnesota. Like, what? You can't. You just can't. We get 5 overpens, but we still chunk the man. And he's not long for this world, as he just has to have, you know, all the torpedoes sent in his direction. Now, as you can see, I'm paying attention. I'm panning around. I'm looking to see who's the threat. We got Ochakov there. We've got Atlantico there. We've got our battleship doing the wrong thing. If you're going to go mid in this map, you have to try to, like, get them to come to you. If you pull out in front of everybody, especially as the only person that goes mid, you're going to end up just getting annihilated. Now, we lost one of our DDs on the left side, which is really not preferable. The enemy has a Z. Unfortunately, I don't have a shot at him. Georgia is going to say, you know, anything the Richelieu could do, I can do better. Or worse in this case. And that means he's going to charge forward and do the exact same thing that the Richelieu did. And you notice that they're doing it one at a time. These guys are not smartly moving forward as a unit. They're coming one at a time, giving everybody a chance to focus each one of them down individually. And this is a recipe for getting annihilated. It just is. Like, you're not able to do crap. Now here, he looks like he's going to start turning towards us. I'm salivating because I'm like, this is GG. You're done. You're just done. I know the Georgia, that's death. Unfortunately, of course, we do what we have to do to leave him with just enough to get away. Or at least in this case, for somebody else to kill. Or do we? Well, maybe we left him with just enough health for us to get the kill eventually. Did you think of that? This guy's still broadside on. 6 seconds. We get our guns back. Are we going to be able to get the kill? I don't need to send all of the rounds downrange here, but you know what? I'm going to. Because reasons. And that's accurate. That was GG no matter what. He was done. Now, look at the score. We have 111,000 damage. There is currently 5 minutes 50 seconds. The enemy have a 140 point lead. Okay?
Attention.
Keep that in mind.
Our primary objective.
There is just under 6 minutes. The enemy have a 140-point lead. All they have to do is nothing, and they win. Remember that. That's it. All they have to do is nothing, and they win. Why is it so difficult for people to play to win? I will never understand. Like, I get it. Like, I love to get damage. You guys know that. I love to get those big damage games. You know, I record videos. It makes sense. Like, I love to get those games for you guys. But I also love to win. And my love for winning oftentimes overwrites my love for getting those big games. Because, let's face it, it's a lot easier to deal with this game when you're winning. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot harder when you're not. Now, what did we already say about people, you know, going one at a time, doing the same thing? The Ochakov is literally doing the exact same thing the previous two battleships just did. He's coming in one at a time, making himself a prime threat. Now, I had my guns all pointed to the right because I was expecting the Atlantico to push up that side. I was expecting the destroyers to be here, and the destroyers are spotting us, so we know they're in the neighborhood. So it's just a matter of where, like, when are we going to be able to fight? Well, unfortunately, the enemy on that side's like, I'm not going to go pushing forward because we have a lead. We don't have to go crazy. So they're just spotting and trying to keep their distance. But Ochakov, like, he just puts himself right out there, so we're going to take it. And we take a good chunk off of him. That's going to make this game a lot closer if we can finish him off. Now, obviously, he's losing his health pretty quickly. He's got a destroyer shooting at him. He's got a cruiser shooting at him. I took a chunk out of him. There's another cruiser he's about to cross in front of. Are we going to get another shot? It looks like we might. He's turning towards us to bow tank. We take the shot, knowing that we overmatch. All we need is one shell, and we get it. That's our high cal, and that's our second kill of the game. And that's when the Atlantico decides to show himself. Now, the enemy still have a 60-point lead. Roughly. They don't have to do anything to win this match. In fact, it is in their best interest to do nothing so that they don't chance losing this match. One at a time they have come in, and one at a time they have failed to try to take our side. And every time they die, they make the game just a little bit closer. Now here we have a pretty decent look at Atlantico here. I take a shot. I know that he's got a decent belt, so I aim a little bit high, trying to get those pins through that upper side plating, possibly superstructure with plunging fire, and we put a solid hit on him. Not a great hit, not a huge hit, but a solid hit with 4 penetrations. We're going to start rotating the guns again. I know, we've been doing circles for, like, forever. If I didn't know better, I'd say we'd just been attacked by swordfish or something. If you get the reference, put it down in the comments below, and I'll pin the first person to answer it correctly. Okay? You got to figure out where that reference comes from, folks. Anyway, we're going to push straight in, right up here into the middle. I know that if we kill one ship, we can win this match. There's 2 minutes to go. We are in a good place that we can actually potentially kill this guy. And the mines is relatively, you know, mid-health, but that's one salvo for a freaking Minnesota, let's be real. But mines goes dark. And our destroyer is not intending to spot. And we have no plane, so we can't spot. So unfortunately, we're kind of stuck here. So I have no choice but to YOLO through the smoke to try to spot and kill this mines. So that is my goal. Now keep an eye on the clock. Again, the enemy has a 50-point lead, roughly. So all they have to do is nothing and they win, right? So why would they continue to sit still in the middle of the map where they know I'm on my way? I was spotted. It's not like I was completely invisible here. I was spotted on my way. Now, I'm expecting Minnesota to be there. Minnesota hasn't been spotted in a long time, so I'm expecting him to be there. And lo and behold, he is. But look at his health when he gets spotted versus the mines. Okay? They're roughly similar, except obviously the battleship gets more of it. So we take a shot at the mines, we take all his health, 26,000 damage, and then we immediately choose him to ping him because he is a guaranteed kill. If we can get rid of him, we win. And just like that, folks, we have completed the comeback. I know, it's crazy. It's almost like the enemy should not just come back one at a time when they had the points lead. But wait, I'm pulling the Uno reverse card for you guys. You guys thought, oh my god, Spartan pulled it off, he's got 30 seconds left. No! Our teammate decided he wanted to go out and get himself killed with 15 seconds left in the match. So, despite our best efforts, our team manages to win even harder than the Reds. At the most crucial point, he f***ed it up. You can't make it up, folks. You can't. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I know it was a little bit of a slower paced game, but 169,000 damage, top of the leaderboard, 1,475 base XP, and a loss. And we almost pulled it back. Unfortunately, our Summers says, I got you, fam. You worked hard for this loss. So, if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.